All right, entrepreneurs and marketers, we are back into mapping your ecosystem. This is the final module of this training and probably one of the most important because we're going to go through each step of these and try to help you really create something that you can have reliable, repeatable results with. And that ultimately is the goal with building your own ecosystem. So, talked a little bit about this in one of the earlier videos. Step one, define your core offer, what you're selling, okay? And I'm going to go back into the ecosystem here, and we're going to focus in on this for a little bit because, as I said in one of the earlier trainings, it is one of the most important things that you're going to do. Okay, and we do a much deeper dive into this inside the academy, but I want to spend some time here because so many people are out there trying to spend more money on ads. They're trying to fix their funnel pages and their conversion, their sales team, they're firing people, they're hiring people, when in reality, it's probably just an offer issue, okay? And so how can you diagnose whether you have a bad offer or not? If you're getting a fairly good opt-in rate with your ad, or you're getting a lot of engagement from your social content when you do call to actions for things about your offer. Maybe it's a 5 guys post, or, where you say, hey, I'm looking for 5 guys that are trying to do this or that, right? Or, when you're throwing things out there to the market and they're responding well, that's an indicator that people have interest. If you're able to close those people fairly effectively, you have a fairly good offer. Okay, I know that's kind of rudimentary, and it kind of you might think, well, duh, that makes a lot of sense, but it's obvious. But that's really how easy it is, right? If your offer sells, it sells. If it doesn't, there's probably an issue somewhere earlier on in the funnel, and it's probably your offer. Now, if you're having a low opt-in rate to your funnels, to your call to actions, and you have a low sales rate, that is a very clear indicator that you have an offer problem, okay? So I would address that. What's a low opt-in rate? If you're doing organic cold traffic, anything less than 50%, let's say 40%, I'll give you a little grace, okay? Anything below 40%, there's an issue, okay? Now it could be the page, because if you're closing 60% of the people on the back end, which is a good close rate for warm traffic, then it's not an offer problem. It's just it's a higher top of funnel conversion problem. All right. So if opt-in is low, but sales are high, okay, then it's not an offer problem. But if both are low, you have an issue. If opt-in is high and conversion is low, sales are low, then you might have a sales issue. Not always. It could be a lead quality issue. Or a lead magnet issue. So what I mean by this is, your offer is more than just your high ticket coaching or consulting or high ticket service business. It's more than just the deliverables of that. Your offer is everything that goes into it, which could be your lead magnet as well. So for example, if you're offering a PDF ebook that anyone can produce in mass now, and AI can have them written in minutes or seconds even, there's not a lot of value there. So there's probably not going to be a real high intent lead that's going to grab that. So that's a low quality lead. However, if you created your own micro SaaS app that people opt in for, they register for it, they go through the process. Some of you may even have gone through my offer audit, right? It's an automatic app that you can go through and it spits out basically where your holes are in this bucket in your ecosystem and recommends training and support on how to fix it, right? That's a high intent lead. It's someone who's really looking to solve a problem, and they're doing something about it because they're going into an app, they're going through the process. So those are two totally different types of leads. Another example with someone that I would consider high quality lead, let's say you're running to a community. Like I have some clients where we run ads to a landing page and they opt in on that page. And then we take them to the school community. That's where they get the course or whatever we're offering in the lead magnet. That person has to essentially opt in twice. They have to opt in on the opt-in page, and then we send them to school. Now, why don't we do both? Or why don't we just send them straight to school? Because we want to create that double opt-in effect. Because that person who goes in and they opt in at school or on the opt-in page, that's one opt-in. Then they go on to school, they have to register again, and they have to put their picture on there, and they have to say something about themselves. that is a high quality lead, and I want to filter those people out. So if I'm getting a really good opt-in with that process, I know I have a good offer with that good quality lead magnet. And if I have a good quality close rate, warm traffic above 50%, cold traffic above 30%, I'm winning. Okay. That's a winning offer. You've got that dialed in. And so the components that we talked about earlier in the training, I'm not going to go through it all again. Of all of these, what's the most important? It's the core transformation. All right. People don't really understand or care so much about scarcity and price anchoring. These are more tactical things that you can do throughout your offer to help lower some of those barriers to entry, right? Some of the objections. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is core transformation, because people are coming to you because they want that transformation. They're struggling with something, or they have a goal or desire that they want to achieve. Again, they want to go from here to here. So how do we get them there? The important thing with your marketing, with your offer, what you're doing in your organic or paid traffic, is you're showing people that you have that solution, right? So I'll give you my real life example that goes along with a lead magnet that I have, which is my ecosystem audit app. So I'm telling people that they're likely wasting money on ad spend because they don't have a strong ecosystem. Use this free tool to analyze where the leaks are in your ecosystem. It's that simple, okay? Someone who goes through that process, I'm showing them, so their transformation is how to go from losing money and profit to identifying exactly what you need to do to fix that. That's a good offer, right? And then on the back end of that, and then they come into my ecosystem, so that's the lead magnet that they opted into. They're going to be a part of a community. They're going to get videos throughout that app. There's videos in the app, right? Those are VSLs. There's course content, obviously. There's emails that they're going to get, text communication, and so on, right? I think you guys get the point, right? But it comes down to defining what you're going to sell, what your core offer is. It's got to be something that has a strong transformation. That's the point that I was trying to make there, okay? Step 2, choose the right lead magnet. Sort of tied into this already, so I'm not going to spend a lot more time on it. Lead magnets are changing in the market, and the consumer is becoming a lot more sophisticated than they used to be. So you need to be expanding the types of lead magnets that you're using. So what do I feel that's working right now? The micro SaaS world is exploding right now, building your own micro apps. And if you're not sure how to do that, reach out to me in the Elite Marketer community, and I'd be happy to jump on a call and show you what's possible. I actually have a mentoring program where I can actually help you through that process. Micro apps are great. Quizzes are actually making a comeback. Automated webinars are making a comeback because they're more involved. Live webinars, I would encourage you to start with. Okay, I think they're more powerful than the automated. But also understand that it's not necessarily the specific lead magnet itself. It's the process that people are going through inside of it. Meaning, people need to be able to get a quick win or a quick result. There has to be something tangible. People are over just information. They don't want just information anymore. That's why what I use is my ecosystem audit. It's an app that they go through. There's a result. It doesn't take them very long. It takes them a few minutes to go through the audit, and they can very quickly identify what's going on in their business, and there's actionable steps that they can take to fix it. Totally free. Takes them a few minutes, and that's powerful. Quizzes are great because you can define a very definitive symptom or issue or result, and then you can give action. And that's the important thing, though, right? If you look at this ecosystem, the lead magnet, the quiz, is just to get the attention, and then we have to systematically flow them into going through the rest of the process, right? So don't just, hey, take this, calorie quiz and let's see how many calories that you need to consume in order to lose weight. Okay, great. Now I know. What's the logical next step? Well, it's identifying what exactly your macro should be. And now I'm going to take you through our macro builder app. And you see what I'm doing here? I'm taking them through a higher level of filtering process. And then I'm going to take them into my ecosystem and I'm going to nurture them the rest of the way. Okay. So that lead magnet is crucial. Step number 3 is mapping your funnel. And we've talked about this throughout this course. It's understanding that all of these things function together, right? And they need to support each other. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot more time on that. I think you guys get it. There needs to be a real structure to it. Again, doesn't matter if it's paid or organic. Your call to action shouldn't just be DM me, right? If you're just doing the DM me thing and you're not bringing people into an ecosystem, you're losing 80% of the people because they don't want to be DM'd. They don't want to be sold over messaging. Why? Because millions and millions of people have been doing it over the last 2 years and they burnt the industry. The average consumer doesn't want to have a messaging conversation with you. I'm sorry, okay? But if you're offering something for free, here you go, right? If you want my this, DM me the word this and we'll deliver it to you. Our Elite 360 system can automatically deliver back that to them, okay? And so you don't have to spend a lot of time. You need to be able to get it to them quickly. That's the most important thing. But I would have something they have to opt into, register for, opt into the system so that you can follow up with them and nurture them. The people who have the 20% that are going to have a messaging conversation with you, great. Have that conversation just like normal. But the 80% that don't, you're going to catch down the road, right? And the down the road is the difference between gaining 30 to 50% of additional revenue with no more work or losing it. So you pick what you want to do, right? Ultimately, that's the whole point of having a back-end system that's solid. Step 4, design your nurture system completely. All right. We've been hammering it. I'm not going to go any more to that. I think you get it, right? Don't leave any of these pieces out because you're missing out on revenue by not having them. Okay. And if you're not sure what some of these are, jump into the community, ask me. I will, Ben, I'm not clear on how to do a 2-step, what a 2-step is. I'll explain it to you. Very simple. What do I do for reoffers? Jump in there. I'll answer it for you. If you don't want to join Academy, you don't have to. Happy to answer some questions for you in there. Step 6, decide what your traffic mix is going to be, paid and organic. I talked about this in one of the earlier modules, I believe. The two need to work together. Obviously, we've talked about that. But if you're doing really well with organic, I don't want you to stop that. Okay. I don't want you to just do paid ads to do paid ads. What I want you to do is facilitate, augment, supplement your organic traffic with at least middle of funnel retargeting. Instagram or Facebook engagement, follows, likes, any website visitors, page engagers, all of that should be retargeted back into a lead magnet somewhere. And that's just it. That should be the focus of your organic and paid allotment, right? Now, if you're primarily paid traffic, in terms of your organic efforts, I would try to at least put out new content once or twice a week, if possible. It really depends on the platform. So if you're running ads primarily, most of your market is on Facebook, let's say, you don't need as much. Maybe once a week. Your profile doesn't matter as much as Instagram. Instagram needs to be, a little bit more involved. Maybe 2 or 3 a week, mixed between reels and stories. Making sure that people can see value there. And again, look at it more of a trust thing. So if you don't know what content to produce, I'm going to give you a very simple strategy. List out every objection that your possible market could have. Create video content around that and put it on your social. Create every pain and frustration that your target audience has. Create a list of those and then create a video for each one of them. And those are all social content pieces. Okay. And I guarantee you, if you do that, you'll have plenty of social content to nurture your audience and you don't have to overcomplicate the process. Okay. So that's your traffic mix. I do believe you should get into paid traffic as quickly as possible, just so you can have repeatable performance. I've seen too many people, they have something on social pop off, does really well. They're overwhelmed and they think they've arrived. And then for whatever reason, the algorithm changes or their market's just not responding, or maybe their market changed. They went viral and they got off into this tangent where their audience is no longer following them. The right audience is no longer following them. I've seen that happen a lot. Just because something goes viral doesn't mean it's a good thing for your business, okay? I have seen that over and over and over again. So putting all your eggs in the organic basket is really, really dangerous. So I would get into ads as quickly as you possibly can, but you can start slow. So you can start with retargeting, like I said, just your organic traffic. But then you could also try experimenting with boosted posts. If you're not big into paid ads yet, you can get into boosted posts. But for those of you who are spending a lot of money on paid ads, but you're neglecting organic, you got to step up your organic game. And you got to be omnipresent, right? You got to start doing some YouTube. You got to start doing some other things. This is for people who are spending, 20, 30K a month on ad spend. You have to start getting into some of these other channels because people are starting to look. I don't know if I shared this with you guys earlier, but I'm going to share it now. This is the old buyer journey. All right. This is what you guys are up against. This is why organic and paid traffic are so important together. The old buyer journey was you run an ad, they opt in, they book a call on the VSL page. That for most coaches, consultants, high ticket business owners, that was it. It was easy. That was a few years ago. Now, this is the new buyer journey. They see your ad, they don't even opt in. They follow you on your page. They see some of your content over here. They bounce off your page. They don't respond to your messaging. They go look, maybe they see a retargeting ad. Maybe they see an ad on YouTube. They see one on Meta. They see one on Instagram. They go back, they see a lead magnet that they like now from you. So they click on that and now they're off. And now, maybe now they're on your email list. So they get an email, they don't click on anything. Then a month later, you do a live webinar, you broadcast that out, they click on that. And now they're attending your webinar. They've been in your ecosystem for 30 days. Now they get on that live webinar. They don't join. They don't book their call. They don't take the action. But now you're following up via Messenger or with text messages to offer them something like a reoffer or a two-step. They re-engage. They get back on the call. 45 days later, they book a call. That's the new buyer journey. Like that's what you all are up against. Okay, so this is why you need to have paid traffic implemented in this process, because trying to do all of that, trying to survive in this journey manually with organic only, it's no wonder so many people are failing and frustrated. You've got to have repeatable content, yes, but repeatable leads and traffic going through this process. So paid traffic will give you that, but then you need the repeatable nurture system on the back end so that you don't have to be everywhere at once. No, I'm not saying that you're going to be able to automate everything. I don't want you to do that. I don't believe that AI should replace everything or that automations and workflows should replace everything. What they should do is touch as quickly as possible, as many touch points as you can, as quickly as possible, and then use automation and tools and retargeting to touch people on with that omnipresence, omni-channel approach in many different areas as possible. And then when you do that, you're giving yourself better odds to shorten that buying cycle, to ease that buying cycle, and also to ease the pressure on you as an entrepreneur, or if you're running a marketing department for someone, you don't have to work as hard as coming up with new ideas all the time. Guys, my marketing team, I have a marketing agency as part of my offer, and we are running ads for a handful of people. One of my clients, she does over 100K a month from just paid traffic alone. Okay, I think she does double that with her organic too. But just paid traffic alone, she's got anywhere from 7 to 10x ROAS, return on ad spend. We have not changed much of the creative in like 8 months, 9 months. We test some messaging, we tested some creative, but it just works. The offer is good, the lead magnet is good, the messaging is good, the avatar is good. I mean, everything is just solid and we don't have to worry about it. But we are kings and queens when it comes to implementing all the back end too, to catch all those little people that come through. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, some people have been in the system 7 months and come back and join later. It's because we're good at the follow-up, all right? And that's just everything, all right? We talked about the key metrics to pay attention to. Return on your ROI is really what you're after. Don't get so caught up with ROAS, right? That people don't think they need to track return on investment if they're not doing ad spend. I talked about this before. If you're spending man hours or if you're paying messengers or setters to engage with people, that has a return. on investment, or a cost, I should say, on your investment. And so you should be tracking that. So ROI is most important. Obviously, your cost per live call, your no-show rates, all of these things are really important. Your cost per book call in general, your apply rate, the number of leads that book a call, right? That's your apply rate. Your opt-in rate, your cost per lead, that type of thing. And that's really what I focus on the most, right? I'm not looking so much at click-through rate with ads, that type of thing. If you're doing organic, obviously, to be honest with you, I wouldn't worry so much about vanity engagement on organic anymore. I don't think it matters as much. And I think the more research that you do with some of the people who are bigger in the space, don't take my word for it, go do your own research. But I think you'll find that vanity metrics, views, followers, that stuff really doesn't matter. A lot of the algorithms are starting to show really good content to the general public. And if it's good content and people get value from it, it should lead to good customers. I would just caution you, don't chase virality. Going viral with the wrong market can kill your algorithm, can kill your business. It can poison your pixel. If you ever want to scale and try to run ads, I've seen that with some very successful organic, people who have millions of followers. They've had some ads that absolutely got a lot of attention, and that might lead to some additional business. But so there might be some good looks in there, but there's a lot of trash that goes with that too. And if you go to try to run ads, Meta's algorithm is going to use your social as a foundation of, okay, who is this person and who do they follow? So that's why when it comes to tracking your metrics and things, be careful about what you're putting a majority of your focus on, okay? So that's mapping your ecosystem. That sums up our Elite Marketing Ecosystem training. Please come join us inside the Elite Marketer community. It's totally free. There's no cost to it. If you want to come be a part of Elite Marketer Academy, you can. Come join our inner circle. You'd be able to hop on some Zoom calls in that Elite Marketer Academy and inner circle where we have some high level discussions. We'll be having some high level discussions, some incredible guests, and I'm really, really excited about what that might be able to help you do in your business. So I hope that you come join us in there. If not, hopefully we'll see you in the free academy or the free community. But thank you guys for your time. Hopefully this was valuable to you. We'll see you on the next one.